On this video, we're going to look at getting from an ordinary state of I need to get working into the flow state and why it's so important to understand what your strengths are. I'm Lucy. I am an aligned peak performance coach and speaker. This is so important, working in your strengths, finding out what your strengths are, because it helps you get into flow much more quickly. If you don't know what your strengths are or what they might be, think about things that you enjoy, that you find really easy, that you don't think twice about. Somebody else is going, oh my goodness, I don't know how you do that. That's probably a strength. And it's something that somebody else goes, you are just amazing at doing that. So you can always ask friends, relatives, neighbors, people in your community, people at work, what do you feel I'm really good at? If you're not sure. It was one of those things that I didn't feel was a strength because something came really, really easy to me, which was listening. And another one was being patient. And when you put those two things together, they really do make sense. Coaching is another one. I find it easy, but that is also because of the listening part of what I do. And then you might be really good at tech. Something tech is just, it's easy. You can just work out tech in a snap. You've got it. You know how to go. You might be a great mediator. You've got conflict over here. You've got someone struggling over here. And you can mediate the two of them. You can help them to see each other's point of view. And you just find it easy. You ask the right questions. You come with the right energy. And you get to a situation where both are okay with things. And that is a great quality to have. That is a strength. But you find it easy and you think probably everybody else can do that. But they can't. Not everybody can do everything as well as you do it. So really take some time to get a piece of paper and a pen and write down some of those strengths that you know you have, and then be on the lookout for ones that you think, oh, people say that's really good, or I'm really good at that, or I find that so easy. And then write those ones down as well. And here is the reason. You want to be working in your strengths as much as possible if you want to get into a flow state. Because when you're working in your strengths, yes, you still need to go through the flow cycle. You still need to go through the struggle sometimes to work something out. Maybe it's a new technical thing and you're struggling to work out, well, how can I make that piece easier? How can I make this piece connect with this piece? And there's a bit of a struggle going on. But then you get the release, you get that breakthrough, which leads you into flow. And once you've got it, that flow is just gorgeous. You're in that totally focused place. And with the flow comes, when you're doing it in your strengths, you get to play. You get to have fun. You get to love what you do. And so if you're in a job that you really don't enjoy, ask yourself, am I working in my strengths? Or how can I work more in my strengths than I am at this point in time? And if that job is not going to give that to you, start looking out for other jobs that will help you to allow you to live and to work in those strengths that this job isn't allowing you. Because you don't want to be at work where it's a slog, where it's hard all the time, where you feel drained by the whole atmosphere, by the whole environment, by the job at hand. You want to feel alive. You want to feel like you can get into flow. You're working in your best place possible. You're aligned with the job that you're doing. And it becomes like effortless effort. Yes, you're putting in the effort, but it's effortless. And time goes by, suddenly you're at the end of the workday, or suddenly you're at the end of a flow chunk, and you can't believe that all that time has gone because although you were efforting, it was effortless effort. Doesn't that sound wonderful? And it truly is. When I'm working in my strengths, which are the listening skills, holding space, coaching, when I'm working in those strengths, time goes by. It just goes by. And suddenly I'm at the end of a session, at the end of a course, and it didn't feel like it was work. I was just in the flow of the whole thing. I was in the flow of what I was doing. I was listening. I was engrossed and I was focused. And that comes from working in my strengths. So, what are your strengths? Make sure you write them down and start working in your strengths. If you can't be working in them at the moment at work, look for some other places that you can work in your strengths and find out how great it feels. So, if you're not working in your strengths at work, maybe in your outside life, in your personal life, in different clubs that you go to, you can work in your strengths. Maybe it's leadership and you're leading a football team. Find a place that you can feel so good that time just runs away. And it was magical. In the moment, magical. You've just lost yourself in that. It feels great. There will be another video coming up on screen, so I will see you over there. In the meantime, write down those strengths so you can get into flow, so that you can have more fun, you can play more, enjoy life, really love it, and have that effortless effort. Have the most awesome day. Bye for now.